From the Script Studios, this is 10 News.
Tempers flare at a rally to impeach President Donald Trump. Good evening, I'm Vanessa Van Hefty. Roughly 1,000 people showed up at Waterfront Park. 10 News reporter Hannah Mullins is live in the newsroom. Hannah, a lot of people showed up in support of the president as well.
They did. People on both sides erupted in anger. I want to show you just one of the heated exchanges we saw. People also lashed out at us.
Impeach Trump! Impeach Trump!
Hundreds rallied behind the battle cry to impeach POTUS. Charles Renshaw did it a little differently. He sat with his sign behind the group.
I coined the phrase BOTUS, bullshitter of the United States. When they get into his finances, they're going to find enough crooked corruption to put him in jail for life.
Supporters of the commander-in-chief showed up in full force.
When there is no evidence or any impeachable actions taken by our president.
Donald Trump has got to go! Hey!
Apparently he said some bad words.
Respect one another.
People behind different loudspeakers were at loggerheads.
We elected Trump, and this is what democracy looks like.
Explosive arguments made for a deep divide.
I think you're asleep.
Do you understand the Constitution?
Adam Hoffman started saying he's proud of his president and his country.
We have more rights than anywhere else in this world, and personally...
But what about his right to free speech?
Hi. We're not Nazis, we're not racist.
If you talk to the media, you're not a Proud Boy, you're on your own.
Orders for myself and other people higher up, we're not going to allow our people to speak.
I'm preventing somebody from getting hurt.
But the shouting match didn't stop.
USA! USA! USA!
It was a war of words.
I feel like I'm exercising the right of a citizen that was given to us all the way back in 1776.
July 4th, to be exact.
And I think it's healthy. I mean, I don't like these other people, but they have a right, and I sure as hell do.
As a Marine veteran, it's a freedom he fought for. And sitting in the rear amid his rivals was all part of his strategy.
I came over here just to sit to annoy him.
And this is the Proud Boys Facebook page. It says they're anti-racial guilt, anti-drug war, and some other things we just can't show you. Hannah Mullins, 10 News.
And the impeachment march here in San Diego, just one of many happening all across the country today. Thousands of people marched downtown Los Angeles today, urging Congress to impeach President Trump. They walked through the streets carrying signs that read, quote, "Not my president," and "We deserve the truth. We demand the truth." Trump supporters helped a counter-protest in support of the president. They briefly clashed with protesters. Meantime, the president himself stepping up his Twitter war with the media, posting this video of himself body slamming a man with the CNN logo over his face. ABC's Mark Remillard reports the tweet is getting mixed reactions.
This presidential tweet causing outrage Sunday. President Trump sharing a mock video showing him pummeling a man in a business suit outside of a wrestling ring. The man's face obscured by a CNN logo. The clip ends with a logo that says Fraud News Network. Republican reaction varies.
It's unfortunate, and people are now begging the president not to do this.
I'm pretty proud of the president for developing a Twitter and a social media platform where he can talk directly to the American people.
CNN issuing a statement saying, quote, "It is a sad day when the president of the United States encourages violence against reporters. Clearly, Sarah Huckabee Sanders lied when she said the president had never done so." White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders responded Thursday to a question about Trump's Twitter attacks.
The president in no way, form or fashion has ever promoted or encouraged violence. If anything, quite the contrary.
This latest Twitter attack comes as President Trump has publicly scorned the media for several days amidst a backlash to his attacks on MSNBC Morning Joe co-hosts Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. In a recent tweet, the president calling them, quote, "Crazy Joe" and, quote, "Dumb as a rock Mika," and defending his own social media habit, tweeting, quote, "It's not presidential, it's modern-day presidential."
This is not modern-day presidential. It is modern-day crass. It is modern-day coarseness. It is modern-day one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Mark Remillard, ABC News, New York.
And now we want to turn to weather, taking a live look outside. A clear and sunny day all across San Diego. 10 News Pinpoint weather anchor Jennifer De La Cruz tracking just a beautiful weekend, but yeah, it's going to end, huh? A warm up.
Yeah, well, the warm up is coming, but we're still going to see sunshine, so that's really all that matters. But our temperatures are going to start going up as we head into 4th of July and even into later in the week. Taking you live outside right now in La Jolla, not a cloud in the sky, no marine layer, just perfect conditions for your Sunday, and that's what we're going to continue to see as we move into the week. If you're heading out to the beach tomorrow or for 4th of July, we'll have mild conditions, no watches or warnings to talk about. Waves will be between 2 and 3 feet. Water temperature between 63 and 69 degrees. Your temperature right now in San Diego, 71 degrees, 77 in El Cajon, 82 in Poway, and 80 in Escondido. And those temperatures are just going to continue to climb. I'll tell you just how hot we're going to get coming up in your 7-day forecast.
All right, Jen. And we do want to remind you, lifeguards are reminding people if you are going in the water, make sure to shuffle your feet. They tweeted this picture saying they've treated a lot of stingray stings today. New developments in that fiery crash at a lakeside hair salon. Deputies say road rage is to blame. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo live at the scene where people are still cleaning up out there. Laura.
Yeah, and this is what's left of the fire. You can see a lot of the material is still here. It still smells charred and it is still wet from the firefighters putting it out. Now, people here tell me that the hotspots have caused this area to set on fire twice since the initial fire started this evening. Now, here's a picture just moments after the crash yesterday. This all started when two cars got into a road rage fight on Highway 67. The car being chased got off the freeway trying to head to the Lakeside Sheriff's substation for help. The second car tried to speed around the first car, lost control, and crashed here on Parkside Street. The car burst into flames. A man and a woman inside the car took off running. Deputies are still looking for them. Now, deputies arrested 3 men in an unrelated incident when they saw a vehicle speeding off from this scene. The 2 people that were responsible for this crash are still on the run. Reporting live in Lakeside, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. And there have been several other wild cases of road rage in our county recently. Back in March, a man was stabbed after a road rage incident turned into a brawl there in Chula Vista. Police say it started when a woman looking at her phone didn't go through a green light and another car honked. Also in March, a man sent us this video of a road rage incident in San Marcos last year. He says a black SUV pulled up next to his car and slammed right into him. He did admit to engaging with that driver right before the collision. And you may, of course, remember this. A woman's road rage led her to running down San Diego Naval Officer Zach Bube. Darla Jackson chased Bube down on the 5 after a confrontation in 2015. She was sentenced to 6 years for voluntary manslaughter and just this week gave a jailhouse interview expressing regret. And new developments, the man accused of shooting and killing a teenager in a case of road rage has turned himself in. David Desper surrendered early this morning. Deputies say they found the murder weapon in his bedroom. Police say Desper shot 18-year-old Bianca Robertson in the head while she was driving. He became angry when their cars merged on a Pennsylvania highway.
To shoot somebody in the head from one moving vehicle to another is a calculated act.
We was all proud of her because we knew she was going to be something and do something with her life.
Police do not believe race was a factor. Desper faces multiple charges, including first-degree murder. Right now, crews are working to clear a derailed Amtrak train from the tracks there. This is near Seattle, Washington. Firefighters say there were 250 passengers on board, but no one was badly hurt. No word yet on what caused the train to come off the tracks. And new video, a veteran leading officers on a high-speed chase through Southern California. Highway Patrol says Christian Hidalgo was going over 100 miles an hour yesterday. That chase went from Santa Clarita to Ontario. Hidalgo's dad says his son has PTSD after several deployments in Afghanistan. He thinks he was just trying to get home where he knows it's a safe place. Officers eventually stopped the chase with a pit maneuver. That's what you're seeing there. A drone pilot arrested for flying over a growing fire in sheriff's deputies say Gene Carpenter flew his drone over the Goodwin fire and posted aerial pictures of it on his website. This is near Arizona. They say those pictures led to his arrest. The sheriff's office says Carpenter put fire crews in the air and on the ground in danger. He is currently in jail on a $25,000 bond. The Goodwin fire has grown to 25,000 acres. It's about 44% contained right now tonight. NASA wants to crash into an asteroid on purpose. The agency hopes to save the Earth one day. Crews plan to use a spacecraft like the one that you see there. It's called a DART. It's about the size of a refrigerator. NASA plans to use it to knock dangerous asteroids off course. The DART is expected to be ready by October of 2022. That's when an asteroid system is set to move close to Earth.
It felt like someone took a knife and then stabbed you a bunch.
A teen girl bitten by a shark on her first time ever going into the ocean. What went through her mind during that terrifying attack? Plus, a big mistake on a brand new war memorial. Why the man behind this project says he isn't fazed by the typo.
Sunny skies are taking us through the 4th of July, but temperatures are only getting hotter. I'm tracking a warm up in your 7-day forecast.